what are we going to do? So
Yeah. Troy High School is also better on capitalizing on mistakes. It's either La Quinta has to capitalize on their mistakes as well, or they have to make less. It's a four-header, but La Quinta High School has to step up their game if they want to match Troy's High School's pace. Either that or La Quinta High School has to slow down, so it forces Troy High School to slow down.
yeah. And as we are waiting for them to start soon, the match is going to start quite soon, actually. I'm excited to see control for both these teams. I'm excited to see whether or not they are successful.
And we do see Night Market as the first map, so most likely the compositions that will be running are triple, it's tank and support, but we could see the Far or the Doomfist come out. Troy High School most likely going to stick with what they're good at.
Yeah.
And La Quinta, we're just going to have to see what they pull out, or the change in playstyle that they may employ.
Yeah, and right now we're not expecting to take any of these hovers seriously. They're just going to keep on switching on and off, on and off, on and off. And as we see them slowly decide, I'm excited to see, because Control is honestly one of those maps where if you have a lot of momentum, you tend to just win unless the team is able to make a comeback.
You're
But
right.
as soon as you're at a deficit, the difficulty of the map just increases by 3 times.
Yes. We do see XUC on the Winston. That's the first time he's going to be touching the Winston. So I guess La Quinta is going to opt for a more aggressive comp. We do see Winter on the Doomfist. As we did see Widow one trick. He wasn't doing too much on the Doomfist. But maybe Winter will tell a different story.
Yeah, we see Winter on the Doomfist, XQC on the Winston. So this is basically the Hail Mary for La Quinta.
You're right. So both teams are coming up on the choke. And I wonder how XUC and Winter are going to be able to collaborate and exploit the weaknesses that Troy show.
And right now, Troy seems like they're having a dominating team play already as they're making their way towards the control point until it unlocks.
Yeah, so Troy just taking space onto the point. XUC is just trying to poke. And looks like Troy's going to take capture point unless XUC actually dives in.
Winter not able
on
to
the
land.
Zen. Winter does get the pick on the Zenyatta.
Nice pick on that Zenyatta as we see a lot of Earth Shatters go through.
Theodore with the massive shatter.
Yeah, this is really good for Troy. Widow one trick on the Genji once again. And we see Troy slowly capture the point.
That was an amazing save by Theodore. If he didn't build the shatter in time, Winter most likely would have been able to snowball them. Because Zenyatta the Discord is very, very useful against tanks to rip them apart.
Yeah, honestly, that Earth Shatter just laid the red carpet for Widow one trick, says, take it away, buddy. And Troy High School's feeling a lot very comfortable right now.
With the Doomfist, Doomfist against Ghost should be able to abuse the Reinhardt.
Oh, the Peloton with the Nano Blade! Oh, he's not going to get enough damage in.
Widow one trick does get taken out by Mongoku, but Theodore takes out Mongoku. It seems like Troy is edging out a bit, but La Quinta High School could still take it back. They're actually backing out to get a full 6 victory.
I think the sound barrier just kept La Quinta alive down there because it was recently used from Famissary.
Widow one trick does swap to the Doomfist. So
I guess he's just trying to show Winter that he's the better Doomfist and feels challenged from the side of La Quinta, but already Troy High School building up the percentage on the control.
I feel like I haven't seen XUC's bubble usage much because there's not much attention to it.
He's not really just diving behind the side of Troy. He's really just sticking with the same, which isn't a bad option, but it just kind of limits itself.
Yeah. I think XUC needs to put more emphasis on his bubble usage because bubbles are more used to deniability usage instead of damage.
Oh, nice pin from the side of
Shatter
Theodore.
does come out from the Theodore, gets 2K.
Yeah, this is really good. Troy High School really just at ease right now, playing this game like it's like just playing La Quinta like a fiddle.
You're right. And La Quinta did actually make change in their tank line. Now they're both swapping to the Roadhog and Reinhardt. But I don't see how well it will fare against the Doomfist Lucio. As Kappa is coming up on his Zariel, and Widow one trick almost at his ultimate as well. We're going to see the Space Jam combo.
Yeah, we are going to see that amazing combo we've seen throughout the series as Kappa 1, 2, 3 is clearing out and making sure this point is staying in their favor. La Quinta has to get this last push, but I don't think this is going to be successful at all. Troy High School taking the first round of control in their favor.
Yeah. I think Troy High School, they're able to take space earlier, which made it difficult for XUC to decide whether they want to die. That opening pick on from Winter was very good, but Theodore just showed up and just hit the ground super hard.
Yeah, and this is round 2. I think this is the most important thing yet for La Quinta.
You're right.
They need to win this round, unless or else map 3 is going over to Troy High School, and this is going to be a clean 3-0.
Okay, so Troy High School still running the same thing. Winter actually going to the McCree, maybe trying to get more consistent damage and counter with a one-trick.
And we see Mongoku switch over to the Tracer unless he switches last minute. He's going to stick with it.
Oh, the Sun actually going to the Ana. His Ana gameplay is very good, but he has to hit those anti-nades. Kappa is able to cleanse it, but using the bubble just to cleanse it is very, very difficult because the timing and the usage of it, the Quinta can capitalize it. The Sun does get an anti on that.
Yeah, as we see, La Quinta is starting to establish some control in the control point as we wait to see if Troy may be able to get inside the control point at least. I'm excited to see what Mongoku can do on this Tracer. If he's able to get nice flanks like that.
Gets the one clip on Kappa. XUC just taking space from Troy, and looks like this map is going to go to, this control point is going to go to La Quinta, but Troy still can't take it back since Mongoku accidentally jumped into the void. Just like with a one trick is taking it back.
Hey, yeah, oh, nicely done.
charge.
XQC with a nice charge. Oh, gets bobbed by Kazo. And Troy High School actually ends up taking control of the point.
Yeah, as you can see, Winter and Mongoku being able to get those opening picks, but they're not fast enough to follow up on it. And
yeah, not fast enough, if I do say so myself, but already they're just waiting for them, trying to get control of this point.
yeah, Troy High School seems to be overrunning. Like they're just, they're too fast. Like you can see they're already going in. Theodore is knocked down. Can they follow up? Yes, they can. Nanoblade coming out from Baron Bui.
Oh, but the sound barrier might be enough to keep him alive, but a nice graviton coming out from Kappa negates the threat of Baron Bui's Genji, as we see the Transcendence to get back into the point. As
Mongoku throws out the pulse.
might be able to get one, not able to get anything at all. And the Brig is actually really good into Tracer, really negates the threat of Mongoku on this Tracer, and 24/7's job is really just make sure that they don't get outflanked or just damaged by this Tracer at all.
I think the change that Mongoku needs to make is to swap to Pharah or like something that has good zoning potential, because as we know, they wouldn't one trick just to get to go in for free and get some chip damage, and they have to force cooldown. As we can see, Troy High School is pushing them back, and someone's actually backtrapping. I think that's Mongoku. Huge shatter from Theodore.
Nice from Theodore.
Let's see if the follow-up comes in. Oh, the boop from Famissary. Actually, they may be able to pull it back. Grab comes out from Kappa.
Oh, this fight's in favor of Troy High School from what it seems like. Baron Bui has to go away, does not get the health pack in time, as Troy High School keep on pushing La Quinta out of the point.
The only thing La Quinta High School could do is nano boost Baron Bui and speed onto the point and hopefully touch at 97%. Baron Bui is their saving grace to actually take back the point at least once.
This is the Hail Mary.
Late comes out from Baron Bui.
There's
he
no
gets
nano
one, gets one, gets two.
All right, he's looking for more. Able to get maybe two. Okay, that's good enough. La Quinta is able to keep this alive. It's overtime. 24/7 has to be careful. Gonna have to disengage. Ends up dying anyways. But this is what La Quinta needed.
But now, can they hold it until 100%?
That's the real question. And it's not even that. They have such a steep road ahead of them. Not only do they have to win this round, they have to win the next round. And that wins the map 3.
One thing I should highlight is that Mongoku swapped to the Winston over the Tracer. They're running double main tank, which I think is an interesting pick, but the theory behind it is that double main tank, Doomfist has to choose which target he wants to abuse. When he uses his cooldowns, the other main tank can enable the other one. So it looks like Doomfist going in. Meteor Strike going out.
Yeah, Meteor Strike going out, not able to get much out as Troy High School getting their second win. The Cavalry has arrived as we see them just take back control of their point. They're just zoning off La Quinta, and honestly, they're just wiping the floor.
Troy High School seems to be taking Li Zhang, and that's the clean 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, 3-0 going over to Troy High School. Definitely surprising to see. We see La Quinta make that last push to try to keep themselves back into this series, but Troy High School just do such an amazing job as play of the game goes to Baron Bui. Honestly, he did amazing in that play.
He did, but it was a bit too late. If all Troy High School needed was one push, and Baron Bui and the rest of the team just put everything into that one push, and Troy High School had a lot to spare.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, especially when the old economy was in favor of Troy High School, which led to them just being able to take that short loss from La Quinta and just able to bounce back into towards the end of the control point.
Troy High School letting their presence be known. Woodbridge and Fountain Valley have a lot ahead of them, but first they're going to have to go against each other. I think, who do you think showed up the most on Troy's team?
Troy's team, honestly, got to give it a Widow one trick. I was a little bit worried about him on his Doomfist. I wasn't expecting a lot coming out from him, but as soon as he just showed a massive reinforcement, and his performance was at a really high standard coming out from Troy High School.
Yeah, Troy High School overall, they showed better teamwork, and La Quinta High School, they're both even on mechanical skill, but in the end, this is a team-based action game.
Yeah, and that's going to wrap it up for the best of 5 series. A nice 3-0 coming out from Troy High School. Unfortunately, La Quinta does get knocked down, and we're going to see Troy High School in the grand finals. We're going to go ahead and pass it back to our analyst desk. This has been Matsuda and Zinnia here, and we'll see you guys next time. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Map 1, I was like,
there you go. There you go.
Sorry, a little bit of audio issues there. Thank you, casters, so much for that wonderful commentary. We're back here on the analyst desk, and we're having one of Troy High School's team members come and join us. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Josh.
Josh, and you're
24/7.
I'm sorry?
24/7.
24/7?
Yeah.
Oh, nice name.
Yeah.
So congratulations on your guys' win. You guys are now qualifying, going on to the finals. How did it feel just like in that matchup against La Quinta?
We were a little nervous at first, and we had a shaky start on map 1. But we ended up pulling it together, and we really found our groove in maps 2 and 3. And with some big Rhine plays from our main tank, Terry, I think we were able to pull out the win.
Yeah, very impressive plays. You guys seem like a very coordinated team, especially the coordination between Widow One Trick and Kappa 123. I mean, the Graviton surge into the Genji Blades were amazing. Do you guys practice that a lot?
Yeah, when we do scrims, we make sure that we're always practicing the types of combos that we're going to do. So whether we do a Grav Blade or a Grav and Doomfist before the nerfs, we really like to practice our combos so that in the game it's really natural.
And speaking of Doomfist, as we know that Doomfist did get a little bit of nerfs, how did you guys, was it a little bit harder to still keep them incorporated into the team composition?
It was. Doomfist was a really integral part of our strategy in the beginning, and we tried it out on map 1 despite the nerfs, but it didn't go as well as we thought. So we ended up switching to Genji, which we had practiced as our alternative pick for Widow One Trick, Evan, and so it worked out, and we ended up, doing pretty well with it.
And you guys are starting to build up like a little bit of an underdog story, as we know that you guys came in as the 8th seed. I casted your game against, was it Westminster? You guys beat out the #1 seed. Did that bring up like a lot of a momentum for your team?
Well, we knew that we were capable of doing really well and going really deep in the tournament. We did have a rough regular season, so when we qualified, we worked really hard and we put in a lot of time as a team. And I think that we ended up improving a lot. And so as an underdog, I'd like to say that we did pretty well against the better teams.
Nice. And it's really great to see you guys improving. You guys, every match we see you guys look like you're getting better and better and looking even stronger and stronger. And speaking of this match right now, I'm going to open up to a little bit of discussion to it. For example, Zero, what do you think what was the integral part to Troy's strategy that allowed them to just take this quick 3-0?
All right, so I feel like Troy's ult economy was very powerful. They were able to rotate ults, not use a bunch of them to win a fight. They didn't waste anything. Kappa 123 kept on flanking with his grabs, and they didn't really catch up on that. What I've seen from La Quinta, though, that is they were running McCree. Really, really good hero with the buffs, but they were not abusing the right click. It's the right click that you need to abuse. You have to destroy the Reinhardt shield. You have to completely do not let him play for free at all. And all I've seen that there wasn't really a lot of right clicks, and that was the buff, and that was the power of McCree, especially in GOATS.
And I'm gonna ask Daniel, what about you?
The game was really great. I watched it. It was interesting. They did have good ult economy, which also helped them to help them win. The two best players on each team too. For La Quinta, it'd be Winter. He really did a good job as McCree. He really was accurate. And with a one trick for Genji and Doomfist, it was in the beginning it was a bit shaky, but in the end they did come out winning. And his Genji was pretty on the spot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, his McCree was really good. His accuracy was good, but you can't. There's a reason why McCree is not ran in the higher level. It's because those accuracy does not matter, because Overwatch is more of a team-based game with the abilities. So if he abused the right click more, I think the outcome of some of those fights would have been very different. The pressure would be more like knowing when to use the right click, when to just use his accuracy to land headshots. Definitely would have changed some fights.
But he did cope with it, which also played a role. Unfortunately, they lost, but I say they put up a good fight.
Absolutely, yeah,
School, yes.
absolutely.
Very much so. And we're gonna be passing it back. We're gonna be going to a short break now. Thank you for joining us at the desk. We hope to see you guys, especially Troy, see how well they can do as you guys go to the finals.
Yeah.
Any parting thoughts you would like to leave any viewers with?
Thanks to our viewers for showing up on Twitch.tv. We really enjoy your support, and thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on making the finals.
Congrats on the win. All right. And so after a short break, we will be back with our next match.